itself, but they're having plutonium shows, including that one that's working its way locally. So far, good on that storm. We would not have anybody reporting any tornado yet beyond the drop the radar indicated tornado. But I'm searching the media to track down something out there. Right now, we've seen at this point nothing showing up.
That's good. I mean, when we have obvious that that's not what we want to see. So the fact there's question is a good sign here. The blue line there, that is the Tennessee Tom Bigby waterway as it kind of connects up here closer to the Pickwick Lake area. I'm going to bring up our Gabe's shot. It's going to be in and out here as we continue to monitor it. Gabe, if you can hear me, hopefully your audio is stable enough here. What are you seeing as of now 4:53 as you're coming there to the west of this storm? I don't think we have audio. I think it's going to be in and out, unfortunately. But the video is a little bit better there. Of course, he's in the rain behind this, and behind this as well, it did drop reports of 2-inch hail there to the east of Corinth, potentially from the National Weather Service there. Hold on a second here. Just a moment. Let's, John, we need to look in NWS chat. Now, Huntsville said confirmed, and I need to figure out if this is the same storm. As
I see actual reports.
we'll have to that might be a different warning, but we need to double check that there because that is not something. What do you say, Ashton? Go ahead.
I see that he's got something to report. I'm not sure if it's on that storm or you know if he's on that storm.
Okay, I think he was pretty close to this one, so it's possible that he is. So let's be careful on the wording we use here. But yeah, National Weather Service in Huntsville going confirmed tornado on this as it kind of moves there across the Pickwick Lake area and the Tennessee River. So we will have to see if we can verify that. Looking at the debris mode on Storm Track Doppler radar, I do not have a good enough angle, I think, to officially confirm this. Go ahead, John. What were you saying?
Just referring, yes, Huntsville does, but Memphis does not.
It's technically in Memphis's area at this point here, so
we'll just have to go with the worst of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that assumption here as well. So it's potentially a confirmed tornado, though again, that could be spotter confirmed. When we talk about the way in which we define this, Doppler radar indicates rotation. That's when, of course, the tornado warning is issued when the rotation's in the right spot. When the tornado was spotted or when debris is confirmed that's when we know we've gotten to a situation that you know now it can be confirmed, and obviously that's the next level up. But National Weather Service in Huntsville saying confirmed tornado warning on this as it's crossing basically the Tin Tom Waterway there close to J.P. Coleman and of course Pickwick Lake up here in the northern portion of Tishomingo County. To say that also is to say that if you live in Alcorn County, you can come out of that tornado safe places. It's clearly solidly exited Alcorn County, but we're watching it closely there near the Crossroads area, Fredonia, in the northern portion of Tishomingo County. Current time is now 4:55, almost 4:56. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon here. The National Weather Service in Huntsville saying public confirmed the tornado that has prompted this tornado warning here near Crossroads in Fredonia, kind of moving there in very near the Pickwick Lake area of Tishomingo County. We're a long ways away from the radar site, so that's what makes it difficult to be able to fully confirm it on the radar. So that's why when the public says confirmed, we have to kind of go with it on this one here. As radar is a tool, but it's not the end all be all of as much as I like to show it and we like to use it there. So again, right along Highway 25. Of course, this is 350 there. A lot of folks coming from Corinth will hit 350 and then head up toward the Pickwick Lake area. So that's pretty much right where this is there as it's moving in the far northeastern tip of Tishomingo County. So what were you saying one more time? We got Gabe's shot. Let's go ahead and see if we can see Gabe's shot again. He's coming behind this. Now he's going through Corinth. So you're a little bit behind this, Gabe. What are you seeing as of now 4:57? Okay, that's our meteorologist Gabe Maynard there, continuing to kind of fall behind. It's hard with the Mississippi Road Network to stay up, but unfortunately, that is still a fairly solid return here in Storm Track Doppler radar when we look at the wind mode there, right at the leading edge of this, potentially near the Fredonia area. Of course, this this is the road there, 350. We're kind of turn north and you head up the Pickwick Lake if you're coming from Corinth, or Highway 25 as well. Now we show it pretty much over top of the lake, but about to really kind of cross there over the Tennessee River, which is where that is. Of course, that is the Alabama-Mississippi state line. So within the next, probably minute and a half, that's where this should probably cross. So an area of circulation that was, we kind of correlated between a few different radar sites here. I think that positioning is pretty close to correct there. Our live radar from out of Florence shows about that same spot. When we look at the wind mode on that radar, I don't have enough that I can confirm. The wind mode on this one only does a so-so job, though. The precipitation mode gives us a good idea on the positioning. So as we reset here for the beginning of our broadcast, WTVA 9 News at 5, starting at this moment here, and we're looking at tornado safety rules and a tornado warning in effect for northern Tishomingo County. And right there, as you can see, is the Tennessee River. And so this is pretty much over top of the Pickwick Lake area near Fredonia. It's possible that this could be producing probably not a high-end tornado. While we've talked about that threat today, this is more likely on the weaker end of the spectrum. That said, if it hits you, there's nothing really weak about it, is it? And so as we look at the wind mode there, again, looking at this a couple different ways, right over top of where it says Fredonia there, and just kind of moving east at about 50 miles per hour. So there's not a ton of locations that are going to show up in this. This is primarily cabins, lake houses, things of that nature. I mean, at 505, we're already on the other side of the Tennessee River in North Alabama there for that spot that it shows up at about 505 there, the Lauderdale State Wildlife Management Area. So again, hopefully the folks here, there aren't a lot of basements in this area. I don't know that there's a ton of storm shelters as well, but we're showing this approaching their County Road 989 in northern Tishomingo County, an area of rotation that, there you go, is pretty much right at the Tennessee River at this time as it's about to cross over that in the next few minutes. So again, that kind of last road there, County Road 320, being impacted by this area of circulation that could potentially be a tornado. It's one of two storms that we've been watching very, very closely. Our meteorologist Gabe Maynard has been on this one here, and Ashton with the North Mississippi Storm Chasers has been on one that moved through Lafayette County, producing some damage out that direction. You can see the low-hanging portion of that storm there, what we call a shelf cloud. He has this kind of in time-lapse mode with his drone as it's moving in that direction. A very impressive and organized thunderstorm there. But kind of looking at the latest on this, on that one, we're going to have to kind of back things out to get a better look at that. Again, some low-hanging stuff, but a shelf cloud like that, we used to, when I first took my first spotter training class, we just called it a scary-looking cloud because, I mean, it definitely is scary looking. There's typically some strong straight-line winds with that. That storm is the one we're looking at that they've just recently allowed the severe thunderstorm warning on to expire out here toward Potts Camp and Hickory Flat. I do want to get a storm track on this just in case this were to ramp back up. But one thing I do note is a bit of an outflow boundary running ahead of it. I'll put the storm track on. You can read some of those times here, but you see that green line there. That means it's possible the rotation is back in the cool air. That would limit the tornado potential. Fingers crossed that that's the way this works. We're looking at moving to Ashland 501 there, Gravestown 508, Blue Mountain 513, Ashley Furniture 519, Dumas at 528, Theo at 535, Jumpertown at about 539. Again, that is some strong straight line winds, but I would say most of those wind gusts are more in the 50 mile per hour range as opposed to all the way up to 60 mile per hour range. But a tornado warning continuing now for the far northern tip of Tishomingo County here, about to cross the Tennessee River. As we look at the wind mode on Storm Track Doppler radar, you might notice that these blocks, these pixels are fairly large because we're a long ways away from the radar site. And so that means that, you know, we're looking fairly high up, over a mile up in the air. So rotation that can be very tight up there might not be as organized at the surface. It also could be stronger in some cases at a slightly different point because of the way in which this storm is shaped. So I would put right there at the intersection, this is Alabama, this is Tennessee, this is Mississippi, and right at the intersection of those three over top of the Tennessee River. That's the kind of bluish gray outline you see there. This is over top of the river at this moment here. as it's kind of working toward the north and east. So within about the next 45 seconds, I think we can give the all clear to everybody in Mississippi. I'd like to see this image here, the wind image update before we did that, and it has, and now we can. So I would say if you do live here in northern Tishomingo County, I think we can come out of that tornado safe place. I mean, obviously, if you're right up here at Pickwick Lake, if you give me 4 or 5 minutes, I'd appreciate that. But I think the worst is probably past it for you and likely crossed over the Tennessee River. I want to get John, our meteorologist John Zalusik's opinion on that as well. Do we think we're probably good to release the folks in Mississippi on this one?
Yes, I believe so. Once that situation now, as you said, it's over in the portion of Alabama, we're in pretty good shape, and hopefully the one that's over to our west or northwest, northern section is already with lost.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that's the case as well. Again, to that live radar, I just want to kind of check and poke and prod this all the different ways that we can. This is our live radar out of the Florence area. And yeah, this unfortunately looks a little bit more organized. It looks like our RFD wrapping around this a bit more, but it's about to cross over from the Alabama state line even all the way over fully into Tennessee. So again, if you live in northern Tishomingo County, tornado warning does continue for you for the next few minutes here, but I think that we can come out of that tornado safe place as far as the folks that we cover here in WTVI are concerned. That threat, I would say, is now past for now. Listen, all this is happening because there is a front that is kind of stalled out here. It's been producing massive flooding rainfall for locations up in Tennessee, and that front has been our ignition point for storms for over 24 hours now. Some other storms that we're watching around the region, a couple of these kind of flowing into this. This is moisture flowing into these storms. That's the reason why they're going to be stronger to the north. We do have a tornado watch box that has been issued for portions of the area. That's in effect until 10 p.m. because, again, that front is kind of stuck, and storms will continue to try to regenerate along and near that front for the next few hours and well into the evening. We're hopeful that things kind of shift out of here by later on tonight, but we will see. Reports coming in from Alcorn County from the Glen area of damage just east of the Glendale Church on Highway 72. Let's come in a little closer on that here, and I'll click this back to our lowest scan, our latest scan here, kind of looking at that. So reports from the Glen area of some damage related to this. Our meteorologist Gabe Maynor is up there in Alcorn County. I'm not sure if his shot is still up. If we can, you'll have to say that a little bit louder for me. It is? Okay. Well, if it's frozen, what we do is we need to get on the phone with Gabe and make sure that we kind of rotate him down to kind of check out that area there. He was one of the first, as you saw live on WTVA 9 News at 4:30, reporting some of the rotation on this thunderstorm. And whether it is straight line wind or tornado damage near the Glen area, it is the wind coming out of this and trying to wrap back around that we're watching there. So again, that moving generally, that's the one that moved into Tishomingo County. So we're going to see if we can get him, get some information back from him on that thunderstorm there. Again, we start with the newscast here just a moment ago. I'm going to see if I can get this over to your hour-by-hour forecast to again emphasize one very important point. The fact that most of us are not seeing anything. And I apologize that we're having to spend so much time on a few locations. I hope you would understand that we do the same thing for you when the time came. But a very limited number of us are being unfortunately focused on for tornadoes last night and again today. Emily, we'll look at where Storm Tracker's placing the remainder of that threat coming up here in just a few minutes. Okay.
Can somebody reset the IFB? I can't hear anything.
I can hear. I'll reset it, but.
And can somebody prompt the 5 now, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Y'all, it's not cool in here. It's not cool. Ooh, that's loud. Yeah, that must have been the problem. Good job. Good job. It was messed up. Okay, here. Temp back to 86 at Lafayette Pontotoc line on Highway 6. Jeez.
We have a down tree in Oxford.
I see that. I see that. We'll get that. That's Ashland as well, right? We have Iuka looking back.
Jay first.
shape right now. It's gonna storm.
Are we coming back over here first? Yes, for just, it's not going to be a long one, but yes. No, you want to keep Jake. We need to hear from Jake.
Okay.
What? No, we can come. What do you mean by that? It's fine. Yeah, come to me, and then we'll go where we need to go. We're coming here, right?
No one's talking.
He's on his way. Do I need to go check?
It's
it?
fine.
Start.
Have you talked to him yet?
Yeah, he's on his way.
Okay, so we're still now watching the storm that's now exiting Tishmingo County and looking into some of the reports of damage near the Glen area. Our meteorologist Gabe Maynard still getting in position for that. Unfortunately, the storm looks like it's actually strengthening as it's kind of working its way up into Tennessee. But again, while we do, and we will still have kind of on the screen for the next few minutes here, a tornado warning in effect for Tishmingo County. That threat has exited Tishmingo County, and we're in okay shape there. We do have some reports of trees down also in Oxford from a different storm. We'll look at that here in just a couple of minutes. And while we're still watching some other thunderstorms here, Emily, I think largely we are in much better shape than we were even 10 minutes ago.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. In the meantime, the city of Selmer, Tennessee, just north of Corinth, took it on the chin this morning. 4 people at least were killed when an EF3 tornado packing winds of 160 miles an hour touched down just after midnight. Parts of the city are just gone. WTVA's Jake White is live in McHenry County, where the devastation is just so hard to comprehend. Apologize for that. Obviously, I have technical issues with Selmer, a lot of power outages and devastation there, so it's hard to think us out. So let's go back to our chief meteorologist, Matt Walcott, with an update on what's
Okay, so thankfully, okay, just to kind of clarify what's a messaging issue there, the National Weather Service in Memphis has gone ahead and dropped the tornado warning for northern Tishmingo County. As we kind of said a minute ago, the severe weather threat for that location has peaked and now has left. Now we do have some broad rotation of the storm entering western Tippah County. Unfortunately, Tippah County hit hard with storms last night and then again earlier today, some storms. And this one I would say is weaker than some of the rest that we have seen. Still, again, broad rotation, some sporadic wind damage, a possibility out of this. Tracking it into the Ripley area, we'll be looking at about 521, assuming again about 50 miles per hour for the speed that it's moving toward the east there. Some rotation reported from other media sources on this, still trying to confirm that. But that is something we're also seeing broad rotation on Storm Track Doppler radar. And this is not quite the same shape of the storm of what we had up in Tishmingo County and Alcorn County. So hopefully not quite as strong. I'm gonna see if I can get you the picture from Ashton with the North Mississippi Storm Chasers. Actually, we're going to look for Joe's shots here from the North Mississippi Storm Chasers, as he has kind of a shot looking from hurricane into this storm from the south. Again, they all look a little better in person than the reality of what they look like on radar here. So an organized storm. Most of this low-hanging cloud you see there, what we call a shelf cloud, associated with the strong winds kind of pushing from left to right here. So watching some of the lower stuff there, but I don't see anything on that that immediately screams that that is going to produce a tornado there. So I think, again, that's at a different level than the storm that we had up in Tishmingo County. It's now exited up into Tennessee. Emily? I don't have to have this whole show. Let's be clear there. Is this going to be B block or C block? If this is If this is C block, I can do a full weather at this point here, if that's what you plan on doing. That's fine. Let's do it. Let's do a full weather. We'll go to Jake after that if he comes up or not, and we go to Gabe after that if he comes up or not. We'll just figure out which one comes up. 3:30. Okay, I should be able to. Okay, thank you. So I hit that, and then this. Then I need to go to that, and then that. Oh no, we'll make it work. Okay, see this. Okay, so you have these feeder bands, John, that are kind of, look at that, like near the Alabama state line. It really makes you wonder if we're going to have this zone, Alcorn, northern Tishomingo County, where this is all converging, that's going to be the problem
So
point
going back to that
into the
local
night.
weather, is that correct?
Yes.
We started seeing my house.
Moisture fetch.
Okay, cool.
Same story, different verse here, Emily. I mean, it seems like it's been the last couple days nonstop, right?
Yeah, what round is this now? Have you lost count?
Oh, I don't even count rounds anymore, I guess, because this is unusual to get a front that just stalls and you get day after day of storm chances. And it's been this same zone up here where there's already significant flooding and obviously have been strong and deadly tornadoes. That's going to be the focal point again for tonight. That threat shifts somewhat tomorrow, back more toward the Little Rock area, but we retain at least a limited chance, unfortunately, to see a few thunderstorms that are strong to severe. And then as we go into your Saturday, that threat shifts back in. This will be the final round, Saturday, late night into early Sunday morning, the time period that we're tracking that potential at this point here. Tonight, just doing what we call some meso-analysis, basically just kind of looking at the general region and trying to figure out what exactly is going on, because models have done kind of a really poor job of this. They've done a good job on nailing the northwest portion here, but this stuff popping up in advance, which thankfully has not produced tornadoes, has been strong from time to time, has been fairly poorly resolved. This one near Hamilton, I think talking to our John DeLucic there in the commercial break a moment ago there, I think this is a zone where we have some moisture that's going to intersect these storms up north. Hopefully it doesn't line up, we don't want to line up for anybody, but hopefully it doesn't line up for us, where it'll probably be more up into Tennessee, where that could add some extra convergence and enhance some of the tornado threat again tonight. And I think that could be what's happened up here with that storm that potentially produced that tornado up in Alcorn County and northern Tishomingo County a little bit ago. The storm we have back out here toward Ripley, again, we'll get a new storm track, a fresh storm track on that for you here in a moment. And then we're going to look at where Storm Tracker, our forecast model, goes from here. Again, Blue Mountain, we're looking at 517 for you. We're Ashley Furniture there to 523. Collinstown at 536 there. Again, this next round into Corinth at 550, and Farmington by about 555. And yes, if you are tired of me saying your city up here, unfortunately, that is the problem with this very, very odd pattern that we are in, where we're just kind of stuck with the same thing hour after hour, day after day. A couple different projections we're looking at here. I'm going to kind of hop between. This one is what we call the graph. And it does a good job of kind of catching some of these rotating thunderstorms. It tries to push kind of more of a complex in later on tonight. I think that is aggressive at best. Either way, if that happens, be before midnight. And notice after midnight, all the activity stays back up to the north and west. So an encouraging sign there. If we look beyond that into tomorrow, you'll notice overnight, not going to have as many storms as what we had last night. This particular version starts breaking out a couple isolated storms for tomorrow in the afternoon. And so we're still in the right zone where maybe one or two of these could be severe if that's the case. The expectation, honestly, is that this is going to be more out into Arkansas as we look toward tomorrow and into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. But again, not impossible. Maybe get one of those feeder bands. I mean, it's happened yesterday and today, so it's still possible once again, I'd say. But the main show is probably going to be out here, out into Arkansas. Now, this is as far out as this particular model has been, which is the more reliable one. On Saturday morning, all still solidly to the west. It's not inconceivable we could have some of these thunderstorms into our area as early as maybe Saturday afternoon, but much more likely Saturday evening, Saturday night. And again, that's why that severe weather risk is in play as we look into your weekend. So again, tonight, this is isolated and concentrated for locations in the northwest portion of the area, Alcorn, Tishomingo, Prentiss, Tippah, maybe Lafayette counties where we're going to have the issues. And again, for tomorrow, we anticipate that there's going to be the potential to have some active weather as well. Got to get you a 7-day forecast. I thought I had one locked in there, so give me just a moment to be able to pop that up for you. 7-day forecast, what it does show again, storms will continue into the late night hours, pre-dawn hours of early Sunday morning. And then after that, as the system finally dislodges and moves through, we're much cooler and drier into next week. But Emily, it has been nearly record-breaking heat on top of storm chances. Two things don't typically align with one another.
Thanks, Mark. Severe weather coverage continues. We're watching and tracking very late. Stay with us.
Yesterday, I said, historically speaking, what happens?
Go ahead, what?
Or I said yesterday, historically speaking, what happens sometimes? A repeat performance of yesterday, I do a right tomorrow to the other. These Peter Bennetts again, like you said, Peter Bennett. This is no problem.
What's Jake's issue? What was? Yeah. Okay.
You were correct about the Peter Bennett.
No, you're fine. I was just asking the question. I'm not trying to imply anything.
I'm saying you were correct about the Peter Bennett.
Have we heard anything from Gabe?
Hey, are you going to nightly? Yes?
Yes. Nobody get a hold of him? Oh, he's on his way? Okay, there's been a lot of things that happened, so I forgot. Okay, thank you. Well, we can run this block as normal. But will there be another weather opportunity later? That's the next question.
Your final one.
Okay, how long do you have in there for final weather? It needs, let's get it to a minute, at least a minute, maybe a minute 30. Okay, thank you. Yes. You're welcome. Okay, thank you. Reports coming in of damage eastern Alcorn County near 248. That's what we're watching right now.
A new dental office has officially opened its doors in downtown Oklahoma just off of Main Street. This modern facility aims to provide top-notch dental care to the community. The Oklahoma Family Dental Team, which runs the practice, is committed to ensuring that everyone, their patients, of all ages, receive the best possible treatment. They focus on creating a comfortable environment, making dental visits a little less stressful for families. Oklahoma Family Dental Service moving to the last 8 years. Dell shut down its standalone app Tuesday, but popular person-to-person money transferring service itself is not going away. Dell warned of the shutdown last year and explained only 2% of transactions happened by app. So the vast majority of Dell's 151 million users access the service through their own bank's website or app, and that process will be unaffected. In 2017, about 30 banks created Zelle to rival popular existing payment apps like Venmo, Cash App, and Apple Pay. Keeping users using Zelle services, app-only users must re-enroll for their participating bank or credit union app. New economic data shows layoffs in the U.S. are not escalating, at least not yet. The Labor Department reports there were roughly 219,000 initial unemployment insurance claims made for the week that ends March 29th. That's about 6,000 fewer than the week before. This overall figure, which could be revised, does not include federal workers who are separately tracked. Thursday's report also showed it's taking people longer to find employment. Number of contingent claims rose to a high not seen since November of 2021. The light back outside, looking through our Tupelo Tower cam on this stormy Thursday afternoon. A final check of our forecast next.
Okay, thank you. Is he up and ready? Yeah. Can he basically tease his main stuff for 6 at this?
Straight line.
Just do a straight live is what I would say. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. You're fine. And Joe, with this video, certainly swirling winds there in Ingomar a few minutes ago with the North Mississippi Storm Chasers. That storm, again, kind of the trailing arm of this strong wind, kind of with this storm. Again, another round there moving into Alcorn County. You get the Corinth about 556. Reports do continue to come in of some damage in Alcorn County, in particular close to County Road 248 in eastern Alcorn County. So this will be going to the same zone where some first responders are trying to figure out exactly what happened there. We did get a report at the time that there could have been a tornado touchdown. Our meteorologist Gabe Maynard is assessing the situation there in the Glen community. We anticipate having more information from him coming up during our 6 o'clock broadcast here on WTVA 9 News. Wider shot here on Storm Track Doppler radar. Again, this is kind of an evolving situation as we kind of assess what exactly is going to happen here. These storms that we have up in Franklin County, stronger at the top of the broadcast, starting to weaken just a little bit in the last couple minutes here. I don't think there's going to produce severe weather in our area. They probably contribute to more of what happens up there into Tennessee. We do have a tornado watch, though, that remains in effect. It's not this long-lived one as what we had last night, but if you're in one of these blue counties, again, the tornado threat for a lot of us is not high. But there's just an isolated zone up here from Lafayette County through Tippah County, perhaps part of Union County, Alcorn, northern Tishomingo County, where perhaps one could spin up if a storm can strengthen enough. Of course, the latest on this, looking toward the weekend threats, coming up tonight on the TVA 9 News at 6.
Dave has got on the scene, he has got damage there.
Okay.
Whatever community do that.
Is he able to get a shot out?
Yeah, he said he's got the shot up.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
he's gonna be there.
Okay.
That community, do you remember?
Glen, near the Glen community. So we.
Also about 248, you can check that out afterwards.
That's what's got to be close. I will bet those two things are fairly close by. Let me see.
Down by, he says, and he's got damage on the scene.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find where this 248 is. 225, that's exact same area. 248 goes parallel to Highway 72.
Parallel.
Yeah, 248 is parallel to 72 on the north side. So that's exact same spot. I'll text him. Huh? Okay. I think that's just a really impressive looking shelf cloud. Okay, we got to go back and look at this on radar here for a moment. Because if this produced a tornado there, like I'm wondering if this, I mean, maybe it's tornado. Maybe it's just. I mean, my knee-jerk reaction on this, John, is RFD damage.
Okay, so a tree and a power line were down on 72. It's being cleared now.
Okay.
But a resident came up to him and said, "Hey, we got structural damage right around the corner."
Okay.
So he's going on County Road 330 to check it out.
300.
Somebody prompt my phone,
Okay.
please.
Lots of 330,
Thank you.
330 somethings around here. Yeah. Yeah. What are you asking? Yes.
You see a 330?
One more time. One more time. This, it's going to be John's going to be doing taping. Hopefully not. There's 330. There's County Road 330. Okay, so it's just south. Okay, so the 248's up there, 330.
He's going to 330 first, and I told him about 248 after that.
Right.
Man, I mean, I got to remember this
Stand
isn't.
by.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
For WTVA 9 News, I'm Emily Leonard. 2 men are in the hospital after crashing a stolen ATV at Lowndes County, Columbus. Brian Moore with Columbus Police said 2 men stole the ATV out of Lowndes County. He says the men, ages 18 and 20, wrecked the stolen ATV in the 900 block of Waterworks Road around 7 On Wednesday night, Morris boatmen are now in the hospital. You can find more news and information right now at WTVA.com.
Let's get back up here. Can this stay here for this shot?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, go ahead real quick.
Won't get you anything. I'll be just recording. Ready. Here's your weather forecast for your Friday to finish off the work week. Still some isolated, widely scattered showers and storms. The heaviest stay off to our west, but still some isolated strong ones not out of the question. We'll talk about all the weather details later tonight, right here on WTVA 9 News at 10. Right? Yep. All right, Mississippi and Alabama travelers, there will be some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms for your Friday. Maybe a few of these a little on the hefty side. By far, the best bet for the strongest storms will be west of the Mississippi River on your Friday. Temperatures topping off in the middle 80s to near 90 in the afternoon. All right, get the extended. Okay. All righty. Yep. All right, Mississippi and Alabama travelers, over the next couple of days, still some very strong to severe thunderstorms possible over portions of our area all the way through our Saturday evening into our Sunday morning. So please be careful, especially if you're traveling through Mississippi and Alabama on your Saturday afternoon, Saturday night into portions of your Sunday morning. After that, everything does taper off. So do our temperatures. Notice we go from those 80s to near 90 for highs for a couple of days. We cool things off into the 60s for several days, back into the 70s by Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Morning lows down into the 30s and 40s. Okay, Matt.
Okay, thank you. And okay, I'm just watching this one up north. Looks like we finally got it. Somebody got a radar mode that works on that.
You trying to determine if it's like
Say again?
we're just trying to determine what kind of wind was.
It might be tornado. I mean, I'm gonna lean toward tornado. That when you start having a path show up, that's typically, I mean, not always tornado. It could just be concentrated RFD damage. But this seems kind of like a path starting to show up here, up in Alcorn County. So that's the reason I say that.
What are we thinking?
Well, I'm thinking it could be tornado damage. Watching Tippah County though, rotation kind of increasing a bit.
He's south of east.
That's not, that's.
Is he safe?
Well, I would say right.
Takes to get there. Again, I guess we'll assume the 50 still. Are we sure on that 50? Let's double check that again. I want to get you a time. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you time on him.
little faster, 50, but I'm at 45.
So let's see here.
Right in, right on his, right his gas. Close to it.
Come on, give it to me. Did it show up?
Close to it.
Would be pretty close to it.
And what that thing does,
I don't think it's going to produce tornado where he is. I think that's more likely south, on the south end of that. It's just he might
are they going?
he might be okay.
Yeah, it's not. Thank you.
He I mean, yeah, he's fine in his car under that awning.
Should he do a shot in the car, you think?
Long
See,
storm.
and here's the thing too, he told us to keep in touch with him because he's got very
Is if we have something good from Gay, I'm concerned if we went off on that. Timely, despite the fact that Selmer is more important.
check your shot.
Because it's possible that this clears Jake in time. See, tracking the back end of that there. It's not. It'd be close. I was looking to get weird things could happen, but I think I feel as good as I feel about anybody up there.
That was not important that. I mean, he can't go inside the church. We call.
Yeah. John, are we going to escape it the rest of this evening?
Hi, well, no, I'm gonna jinx it. Other than that little fetch of oysters, that doesn't look like it's gonna do much of anything.
The one in East Alabama, West Alabama?
West Alabama's supposed to be like, well, power up storm up.
I'm taking this off because I'm hot. Huh? Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, but it's better than something like that. Oh, this is lesser than yesterday up here still. Tomorrow, that makes you look, tomorrow, I think we will have yet tomorrow. Don't be surprised that fetch of moisture is overhead tomorrow.
The stuff in West Alabama?
Goes right into our area, both left and scattered, right? In a way, that was kind of not too far from nothing. You kind of picture it, let's see how you do this. This, now it's with this. Remember yesterday? Then now everything pushed southeast, it's pushed all over this way now, so it's back west. That storm right there, westwood, southwest of Philly, still, that's the goal, I think that's for some of that stuff. It's not as organized yesterday. It's organized.
No, nowhere near as organized as
Well,
yesterday.
except for that one, that's South Little Rock, that's kind of trying to do something. Yeah. That's for later tonight. Church. I'm just here. Yeah, nowhere near.
Okay, all right, I'll keep you posted. there is nothing. He's in the middle of nowhere. He says if he has to, he can break a church window.
I don't think we're gonna need that. I really don't think we're gonna need that. And I'll be clear, even if in the worst case scenario, tornado warning is issued for his area, I believe if I were doing some kind of micro tracking, that it would be south of him. Like I think I feel I mean, I know that John's always a little more cautious than I am on this.
There's nothing really right now, well, yeah, the south part doesn't.
But he is in
Guys.
right there, right?
Yeah.
So it would have to be this part, right?
Doesn't look like anything that part, no,
Well,
except for that little notch, well. South of County Road 600. That's it, rough that way. See that?
yes.
That's what.
Yeah, I did.
John gets a little scared, but I'd be like, now you gotta calm me down, it's like.
Okay, let's bring him down to Corinth. Bring him to Corinth. Take him to Corinth.
So you can be somewhere, go run inside.
He had enough time to do that.
Yes.
Like you say, strange things can happen. It's just like that little,
Okay. Starting to thunder again in Corinth. I know, Corinth. This has been your 7,000th thunderstorm in the last 3 days. 2 days? It's only been 2 days, John. It's been 2 days or 3 days now.
We have a stream, I didn't know it was a stream. They got that whole conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That road on the street. Hello.
Yeah, see, I mean, it's looking a ways away from that. I just know that he's ultra sensitive to anything that might kind of sort of say possibly tornado. I get that.
Okay, so he's moving south.
Yeah,
To Corinth,
and-
but so
He's fine.
I got to tell Maddie she might have to float and flop.
Yeah. I don't think we lose it. I think maybe we Tippett County Highway 4 view. Lots of low-hanging stuff out of these storms. Well, certainly trying there. Shot from Ripley High School. It might happen. Okay, where are we at? 5:46. We might have enough time to put together something. Past in 2 days. We'll probably need to do one, especially for the weekend chance there. Do that. I do think there's a benefit to that. State third stays third. So that's at west. That's set west. Okay. Huh? Hold on, Adrian might have a drone shot. Stand left. And then I need to adjust the windshield there. Control S. We've got two there, that there. The sound is static. I don't know why the sound is static and why it's freezing. That I prefer not to do, but I'd have to probably kill the stream and come back with it to make that happen if that's a problem. It's freezing. I'm going to, let me see here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that. I can